The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast, where we highlight top professionals making waves in the industry. I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and today we shine the spotlight on Lizna Nel, and she is a trailblazing real estate agent and mentor with EXP South Africa. And we're discussing how empowering people through innovative strategies can drive success in this dynamic industry. So join us as we explore the keys to unlocking potential, building strong teams, and leading with vision. So welcome to the show, Lisda.
Thank you so much, Karen. I'm very excited and honored to be here, and I'm so passionate about the industry. So it's lovely to be on a platform like this.
It's a great platform to get your message out there. And I think what the listeners will be wanting to know is, first of all, maybe what was your inspiration behind going into real estate in the first place?
I love that. So I've always been intrigued by real estate since I was younger. And I think, like a lot of people, you're not quite sure how do you get into real estate. So my journey took a different course first. I was in a different industry. And my granddad, who has passed away, has always said to me, Lizna, if you invest money, you can never go wrong with real estate. And I think that always spoke at the back of my mind, knowing that real estate is a safe investment, and also that it is a great investment for you to really look at your capital growth. So with that, I was always very interested. So even though I was far away from the real estate industry in my previous professional career, I was working some corporate and everything else. When the opportunity came up for real estate, I was all in, and I've never looked back.
Brilliant. I mean, I think it always has been, and I think it always will be, right? A real sensible investment, investing in bricks and mortar. So how do you balance, I suppose, the art of selling real estate with the responsibility of changing lives? Because it does come with responsibility, right?
100%. I think that second part that you're saying, the selling home, for me is a byproduct of changing lives. So I always see my journey, whether that be in the real estate with my clientele, my buyers and my sellers, whether it would be within my agent group or just someone else that I meet along the way. I feel that I've got a purpose here, and my purpose is changing lives. And that just happens as the run of the mill during the day. So whether that be that excited buyer to buy their first property, or a seller that needs to sell to either scale up or scale down, or having some life circumstances leading them to having to sell their property, for me, it's not about the brick and mortar. It is about being part of that journey, being part of their life, being part of this transition in their life that very often goes hand in hand with the sale of a property. Those are the things that I enjoy. And that also transitions into my real estate team, where I meet people, and whether they've been in real estate for 15, 20 years, or whether they're only stepping into real estate now, my passion for the industry can transcend into them. And really the opportunity to change your life as a real estate agent and making a positive impact on other people's lives, for me, is something that I'm super passionate about. And I carry that through into the team, which then I help in changing their lives as well in the process.
Right. And I suppose every transaction, there's a story, right? So what you're saying is you love to be involved as part of that story.
I love this story. Yesterday I was involved in another story, and then I was thinking I should start a little channel for my team where we post like our normal communication out that just says stories of real estate, because every single transaction has got a different story around it, whether that be of the transaction itself, whether it be history of the home, whether it be some complicated technical stuff with regards to the sale or the purchase of that property, or whether that be the interaction with other agents or other agencies while you were working on that property. There's always an interesting story to tell and lessons to learn, and they are never the same. They're always different for every property.
Ah, I love that. So for you, that's more of the driving force than just actually making the sale. Is that what you're saying?
110%. I feel like making the sale is the byproduct of the story, of walking the journey with the people in their daily lives. I don't think there is a lot of things that can compete with being as stressful as someone moving house. So whether that moving into a new house or moving out of the home that you've made, maybe have stayed 30, 40 years in, it's a huge emotional process. And I really enjoy being alongside and walking the journey with them in that emotional process. And even with agents, once again, it's the same thing. There's a saying that says a real estate agent gets up every morning and they don't have a salary, they don't have a job, they need to find themselves a job for that day. And I do think it can be a stressful environment for people. So for you to learn for it not to be a stressful environment and not focus on the money, but focus on the people, focus on the impact that you can have for other people. And then, like I said, the money is a byproduct. The sale happens as part of the process.
That's a great perspective. Love that perspective, and that because it's humanizing. So many people, if they're just going for the number, and then that's where they're not building the relationships with the buyer or the seller. But it sounds like that is actually what you focus on, and I love that. And then the money will come. Brilliant.
Definitely.
So what systems and strategies, I suppose, do you use to maintain top performance? While, I mean, I know you're obviously fostering a supportive team environment too.
Yes, I think, Karen, we're so lucky because we live in a world at the moment where there's so much technology and you can always do things a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, a little bit more foolproof. But at the same time, I think going back to the foundation is so important. Even though we've got all of those systems and you've got all of these wonderful things that you can go bigger and better and faster with, remembering your principles and staying true to your foundation, which for me very often is repetition. There's some things that you need to do every day in order for you to be successful. I don't think just in real estate, I think in life, we have to have those good habits that drives us every day. And for me to always try and improve on my own and also trying to inspire other people to improve on theirs is such a fun part of the journey.
So you're basically carrying all your values and instilling it into your team so that you can continue with your focus. Is that right?
Definitely. I think, like you said before, the money being the byproduct, if you look at what makes you excited every day, what do you enjoy? And everyone's got different strengths. There's agents that's brilliant at marketing and networking with a lot of people, or getting like a marketing strategy, like converting what they've got into something new. And then there's others very good at building relationships. And then there's people that are very good at public speaking. But to really find your talent and take that into the industry, real estate is that industry where whatever your talent is, if you're willing to be authentic and be yourself and live with your talents in the industry, you are going to make a success of it.
Oh, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So how do you see the role of innovation in the future of real estate, especially in the terms of the client relationships and also the team dynamics?
I think as a real estate agent, we all need to be a little bit in love with a CRM, having a client database and a CRM system. And I mean, with the newest technology, you've got AI integration with that CRM system. So making use of things like that to assist you to be better at building relationships, because building relationships also means remembering stuff, remembering when it's a birthday, knowing when it's a special occasion in someone's family. So many different points of contact that you can reach out to people on a daily basis that then cements you as their top pick for a service provider is extremely important. And I've always been, since I was young, quite a bit of a little techie nerd. I always love when there's new technology or a new gadget that's coming out. So I love to test the boundaries, see which of those could work for our industry, which could make it easier for a seller or a buyer of a property. Which new system or form can we include for them that can make their process of buying or selling a property a little bit easier? It does not only make it easier for the consumer, but it also makes it easier for the agent and more foolproof to ensure that you've got a smooth running transaction.
And what you spoke about earlier about that the whole thing is about relationship building. And I love what you said, that the fact that all these tools, I mean, we just live in a fantastic time, that all these tools, and with the emergence of AI, like you mentioned earlier, it's amazing what you can do. So, when people say the fortune's in the follow-up, but so many people miss out on following up because they've forgotten. So having this technology, love it. Yes, it's only going to help you operate at the best level that you can. So yes, that makes a lot of sense. So
definitely,
would you like to
I think, Karen, sorry, I was just thinking and AI and technology has got a big playing field, and there's a lot that can be done, but there's a lot that human interaction, it cannot overpower that. It just assists and enhances that in order for you to build those relationships stronger and better because you've got that support.
Having that backup, it's just going to make your life, your day-to-day life easier, setting reminders so that you can interact on a personal level. Brilliant.
Definitely.
So you're in Cape Town. So, what's it like out there? What's the real estate situation like? For instance, what was your production last year?
We are very fortunate if you look at the bigger picture of South Africa and all of the provinces. So Cape Town is part of the Western Cape, and that is the most wanted property market. Obviously, everyone knows Table Mountain, and you've got the northern suburbs of Cape Town, and you've got the southern suburbs, and then the outer skirts as well. And a lot of the other provinces, because of the nice lifestyle that you've got in Cape Town, you've got the combination of wine farms and mountains and the beach and everything, and then city life all taken in one package together. So out of all of South Africa, the Western Cape has got the most active property market. So I'm very fortunate to be living in Cape Town. We've also got what's called in South Africa semigration, where a lot of people from other provinces are moving towards the Western Cape. So outside of investors liking to invest in the Cape Town area, we have got those other provinces with families that are moving towards the Western Cape, and there's a constant demand for more real estate, and the amount of development happening in and around Cape Town is fantastic. So last year, I know that there was globally a reduction in real estate, or the amount of sales. However, I had this conversation with someone the other day saying that I just see year on year that I'm either staying with the same or it's getting better. It depends on the effort that I'm putting in. And I always think that there's always going to be market shifts, but there's never really a very quiet market for a real estate agent that does those daily disciplines, that stay on top of those relationships, that make an effort to stay on top of mind for their clientele, and that gives excellent service. I think that's so important, because you will always get a referral. There's always people that must downscale, must move to a retirement place, upscale because their family is growing, moving from an apartment to a home. So that is always going on, whether the economy is up or down. And if you position yourself correctly and you stay on your daily disciplines, you put mind over matter and just stay on top of those, doesn't matter what the outside noise is, I think that you remain as a productive agent. I'm very fortunate that 2023, so last year, I ended in the top 50 globally for EXP. And obviously, that's nearly 90,000 agents. That's such an honor for me. And I just think it is because I stick to those daily disciplines and I don't listen to the outside noise. I do what I'm supposed to be doing.
Congratulations. And there you go. The proof is in the pudding, right? So what would that sort of, to be in the top 50, how many units would that be sold?
So I think I sold 36 homes last year. And my market is, I don't really have a lot of apartment. It's more bigger family homes, so like 3-4 bedroom homes in and around the suburban areas of, it's called Durbanville in Cape Town. And that's the area that I stay in.
Fantastic. So what's next for Lizna? What are your goals for this next year?
I have been so blessed. I actually said to my mom, I was on the phone with her earlier this morning, because sometimes, real estate agents are on the phone constantly. So sometimes we are guilty of not calling family and friends that often. So I was on the phone to my mom, and it's always a little bit of catch up when we do talk, because otherwise we always speak on text or on WhatsApp message. And I said to her, I just feel so lucky and so blessed. There's all of these amazing things that is happening, some that I've been working towards or wished for, and some that just rains upon me. I have recently been elected as the International AAC chairperson. So that's the International Agent Advisory Council for EXP. And that covers Africa, Asia, Europe, New Zealand, Australia, all of those different countries. And I'm so fortunate for meeting these other agents that are working in the same organization, but complete different sides of the world. So we get to learn from each other. We get to grow together. And with that in mind, at the end of October, when EXP has got their EXP Con 2024 in Miami, I'll be going there and I'm going to learn and build new relationships. So right now, that is the hype for me. That's what I'm really excited about. Besides my normal business and my property sales and my team that's growing, that's carrying on, it's a new exciting venture for me.
Fantastic. Exciting times ahead then. So with regards to your team, I mean, what are your team's goals then for the next year? Do you have plans in place for you and your team to reach those goals over the next year?
Most definitely. I always think planning is so important. If you don't plan, you are likely to fail. So we've got a lot of plans, and I'm also happy to see how everyone participates in becoming part of that plan and implementing the plan. So we work very hard. We've got a branded team called Realtor South Africa, and we work very hard as a branded team to build that brand out and for us to really service the clientele in our area and to always step up what we've done before, to always strive for excellence. And we are now becoming an official team. We were a branded team, but not an official team within the EXP organization. So we've just been going through that transition in order for more global recognition because of the hard work that the team is doing. We're looking at different team leads and expanding the team as we grow. We've got a morning huddle every morning, which is lovely. It's just a nice little online check-in, and we do different training tips and we discuss different contract things or different transaction property stories like we spoke about earlier. We discuss those and we exchange the different stories that's going on or different things that's happening in the market or different technology that's coming out, and little tech training sessions is happening so that people are constantly being more innovative and upskilling themselves. If you think you're doing great today, then learn something new so you can do better tomorrow.
Brilliant. So thank you for your time today, Liz. Now, we do have just one last fun question for you, because Icons of Real Estate is the #1 real estate podcast network, and we are passionate about making podcasting accessible. So for you, if you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
I actually have been playing with this name. We've got a app called Discord in our organization where we can build these little servers and you can service people within your team and your organization. And I've been thinking, what do I call this? Because it's got to be something bigger than just something in South Africa or just within our branded name. And I've been playing with success builders. So I think if I had to have a podcast, it will be called Success Builders, focusing on success in business, success in life, success in personal growth. For me, that's something that I'm passionate about. And the word builders, I think, speak to our everyday life because we always have to build on who we are, on what we do. And speaking of building, I mean, when we're in real estate and residential real estate, you are building relationships, you're building properties with developers. There's so much building going on.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. So, well, this is obviously going out globally. So, what should the listeners do next? I bet they haven't even thought about investing in South Africa. Maybe that's piqued their interest. So, where can people find you?
Oh my word, I'm available on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You will find Lizna Nel there. And I would love to have conversations with you with regards to the different areas in Cape Town that you can purchase, the types of market, whether you want to be in the winelands or in the hustle and bustle of the city close to the beach. There's so many different opportunities available, even up the West Coast where it's smaller coastal towns. It depends on what your need and your likes are there. I feel like Cape Town, it covers just about every aspect of property needs and lifestyle.
Fantastic. So, listeners, get in touch if that's piqued your interest. I've never been. I would absolutely love to go. So, thank you so much for your time today. And to the listeners, well, see you next time on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Bye for now.